So I had somebody ask me if I could make them a little portable cell phone charger. There's no, they don't have power, but we're going to hook it up to a solar panel and we're going to see how many charges we can get out of this. And I thought it'd be a fun little project to do this weekend with just the stuff that I had laying around. Don't attempt to build something like this unless you're 100% confident. So this is the box I used. There's a little solar controller in here and a battery. Got a charge port and some solar charge ports and then a USB. So we'll see how I built it here. So I always forget to put the handle on. I end up doing it last and everything's in the way and it's a pain. So I remember to do the handle first this time. So I'm just trying to find the center here, which I had about 5 1/8. So half of 5 is 2 1/2, half of 1/8 is 16th. It gives you 2 9/16. So that's where I put my center line there. And I'm just trying to find center the other way. So then I'm getting approximate what the center is of the handle. Just give me a starting point. So then I can measure from each end, make them even. I made some marks and then I'll drill some holes there. And then these are the holes I drilled for the ports. Then I've got a charge port, so I have a little charger that'll charge the battery in there if I need to plug it in and charge it. And here I'm just showing you how I find the center post, which post it goes to, and then the negative post. So the negative post is in there, and this one you can trace out pretty easy to see which one it goes to, and I just tone them out. I soldered on some wires, and then I put some heat shrink on them. And I always leave that center post in there when I'm soldering. So now we're going to mount the charge port for the wall charger. And here we're just mounting the banana plugs I'm using. They're rated pretty high. I use them on a lot of my other projects. I would have used something different, something more solar related if I had it, but I don't have anything. This is a pretty low amp system, so we're just dealing with probably less than 5 amps with the solar charger. The wall charger is only 2 amps, I think, the one I'm using. Now we're going to mount the solar charger. We're going to get it wired up first. These are pretty small fuse holders I'm using. I checked the chart and they should handle 10 amps. So I got 10 amp fuses in these. Like I said, I don't think we're going to see that kind of amperage in anything. Plus the battery's got the BMS in it, so I have overloaded those batteries before on other projects and they do shut off. So I needed some spacers or standoffs to mount the solar controller there so it'll clear the nut for the handle. I like to just put one nut on first and get it in there, and then the other ones I put the lock washer and the nut on, and I come back and put the lock washer on that other one once I get a couple in there. Okay, so that's all mounted, handles mounted, and now we're going to connect the all the wires to some Wagos. I'm going to use Wagos as my splice point. So we've got the charge port and the solar controller. We're connecting the solar controller to the charge ports. Now we're hooking up the negative side. Grab the correct Wago there. Needed a 5. Installing the USB. And this thing here, every time I put a USB port in, I always forget about this corner sticking out. And I forgot this time too, but it just cleared. So it actually turned out pretty good on that one. Just double checking that I got my polarity correct. Then, you know, when you're stripping, a lot of times you'll see 2 rows of numbers. This one has 1 row on each side. One side was metric, but you want to use the bigger size. So if you're stripping a 14 gauge stranded wire, you want to use 12. That way you don't take off any of the strands. Now we're connecting the battery leads to the Wagos. We're using that little 10 amp battery there. I should use some Velcro to hold it in place. This won't be moved around a lot, so it should be secure in there. That's pretty much it for the wiring and assembling of it. That light does stay on that USB, which I don't like, and I didn't put an on-off switch on this yet. I want to see how that works. I'm going to try to find a USB that's not lighted, and if I can't, then I'm going to come back and put an on-off switch on it. But that's all it draws, 0.011, so it's a pretty small draw. It's still a draw, and I don't like any draw, to be honest, but I'm going to see how it works out before I make any changes. I'm having a hard time finding a USB port that's not lighted. So this is with an iPad. So it's just under an amp at 5 volts. So like I said, that's just a little project with stuff I had laying around. And we'll see how it works out. See what changes I have to make. I am going to add some venting to it. I didn't want to just drill some holes in the side. I want to put something screened or louvered on there for some venting, and then we'll see how it works out. We're going to recharge it with the solar panel, see how many charges we can get out of that battery, and we'll update you later on that, and thanks for watching.